forward to every day, oh my. Some days are just here to try. Sometimes it's every day, oh my. Sometimes it's every night. If I can be irascible or proud, then we can be predictable. We turn to face each other, or we turn to test each other, but we lean against each other. Life's never gonna be easy, but if you're living it with me, we're gonna live it out night or day. Well, I wanna live a life with you. No life is you, and I want it night or day. Look forward to night or day, oh my. No, I'll never get bored of you, or the thing that you do. 'Cause everything, yeah, everything that you do keep me addicted to you. Life's never gonna be easy, but if you're living it with me, we're gonna live it up night or day. Well, I wanna live a life with you. No life is you, and I want it night or day. Look forward to every day, oh my. I look forward to every night. Sometime we'll be living it broke style, oh my. Sometime living it high. Life never gonna be easy, but if you're living it with me, we're gonna live it up night or day. Well, I wanna live a life with you. No life is you, and I want it night or day. Well, life never gonna be easy, but if you live it with me, we're gonna live it night or day. Well, I wanna live a life with you. No life is you, and I want it night or day. Night or day. Night or day. Night and day. It's hard to get out when it's so dark. Hard to look out. It's hard when the blind won't pull itself up. Where can you go when no one knows your name? No one's glad that you came. But lonely is so close. It's on the corner of the Golden Guide. I know the owner already knows which shot is the usual for you. The memories he will remove from you. He'll be taking everything you can lose by the end of the night. Of of the night, of the night. It's hard to come home. It's hard to come home when it's so dark. Hard to come home. It's uncertain, but the curtain fell when you were away. That's alright, you see. Everybody here got the human fear, so that's alright with me. I took the fear, I hit the tents down by the canal, sliding into midnight to tell the north, give me some more atmosphere too. No more is alright. I'm more. I thought I knew what love was. I thought I knew what love was. And then I met you. You got me hooked. Oh, 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 you got me. I got obsession. I got a new obsession. Tattooed to in the shoe where everybody see them. Everybody here love the double G. I'm more. I thought I knew what love was. I thought I knew what love was. And then I met you. You got me hooked. Oh, you got me hooked. You got me hooked. You got me hooked. You got me. 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 I got the fear. I got the human fear. That's alright. That's alright. You got me. Everybody here got the human fear. So that's alright. That's alright. You got me. More. You give me more. That's alright. That's alright. You got me. More. That's alright. That's alright. You got me hooked.
It's a great start to our first session of 2025. Franz Ferdinand playing live for us. There'll be a couple of more tracks to come. That a version of Night or Day. The songs that you'll hear this evening feature on the new album, The Human Fear, which is coming out this coming Friday. Tell us a little bit about this record then, and where it started, because I mean in many ways it's an unashamed orgy of great pop melodies and hook lines, but I mean I guess one of the things we should make a point of it's the first one with the new or newish lineup actually in a studio together, isn't it?
Yes, it does. And I'm glad you're feeling about that, because that's definitely how we felt going into it. The funny thing is that the last thing we put out was this album called Hits to the Head, which was like a retrospective greatest hits kind of thing, which I was a bit reticent about doing. I think, I don't know, if you put out greatest hits, does that mean
it's the end?
Yeah, right? Yeah. But it was actually a great thing to do. I really enjoyed it. And, playing all those bangers and just playing live and playing together, it got the band super focused, and just, Audrey had joined the band and Dino was playing, and by that point, just playing those songs together, we got super tight.
And that's my favourite way to go into the studio, you know, when everybody's just playing live together in a room, and well, kind of like we just did just there, really, all playing live together. And also, it kind of gave us competition. Like felt we've got to make a record that can compete with all of those on the greatest hits, rather than doing something too obscure and up its own.
And no disrespect, obviously, to past members of the band, but did the injection of fresh blood and, you know, I guess some new ideas, did that help then bring something as well, something additional to this record?
I've got to say, it's been glorious, like having everybody join the band, and you know, Audrey's sitting over there looking at me, so like I'm going to be too embarrassed to like give her lots and lots of praise, but I'm going to do it anyway. She's an amazing drummer and a brilliant person, and with Dino as well and Julian, and it's just been great fun. You know, it should be a total joy going into the studio, and it really was, like getting these songs together and recording. And I think you can always tell when a band's been enjoying themselves making a record. You just feel it. It's unrelated to what the subject matter of the songs is. If you get joy from recording and making that music, you get joy from listening to it as well.
It does feel like in some ways that this record has almost come round full circle. Not that it's brought you back to the start, but it has elements of where you started and then who you are now.
I agree. Like, it's a very direct record, you know, it's like straight at you. But we were talking about this before we went on air as well. In a way, it feels like our first album, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
like both in the way we were making it, the nature of the songs, and also because of everybody who made it as well. Like, if it does feel like putting out a first record again. It's a very exciting moment.
Oh, so were you writing? So did you write off the back of the tour, or had you written some songs? Were the songs coming together while you were together on tour? What did you do? Just take the adrenaline of the tour into a rehearsal room?
It's a kind of continuation of the whole thing, really. Like, I never really stop. I think some artists maybe like will do cycles where they kind of like write songs for a few weeks and then kind of go away and tour them, then come back and start something else. But we've always been continuing writing songs, and there's some ideas that were from like even before Franz Ferdinand, then some of the things that were written literally days before it was sent off to be mixed. And you know, it's just a continuous process, really. But I think the energy that came about from doing that Hits to the Head tour definitely came into the studio, and just the vibe of playing live together and loving it as well. You know, just enjoying being in a band. It feels really good to go in the studio like that.
One of the things I like across the album is that it's all Franz Ferdinand, but the different versions of Franz Ferdinand. There's, you know, pop music, big pop hit Franz, funky Franz. There's even 30s cabaret Franz.
All right. I'm trying to work out which one that is. There's a bit of Greek Franz Ferdinand.
Greek Franz Ferdinand.
Yeah.
But it has, you know, as I say, as you just mentioned, it has the daring do that you find in a new band. I think that's the point I'm getting at.
That's good. You know, I think something came about from that early on. Bob and I were chatting about making the record, and we were sort of saying like, we just want to make it unashamedly Franz Ferdinand, like to be unashamed of our identity and what we are as a band and how we sound. And when you accept that, when you sort of say, no, this is who we are, it's actually a very liberating thing. And I think it allowed us to go to places that we haven't actually maybe gone that deeply into as a band. And I think there's quite a lot of variation and sort of things that maybe you wouldn't expect. Yet at the same time, every song you know who's making it and who's playing it.
And a lot of the characters or the people or what you're writing about on this album, it feels like they're different people. They might all be you for whatever, for all I know. But the various characters in the stories, in the songs, they all sound like they've just walked into your local independent cafe, which is populated by people who look normal on the outside, but all have a story to tell.
Well, I've always found that fascinating. Like you know, the depth in the ordinary. You know, like the normal life around about you, and seeing the interesting things about people's personalities. I think that's a good way of describing it. But there are locations on it that are real locations and real people as well. Like there's a song, in fact the song we're going to do next is a song called Bar Lonely, and that's about a real bar in Tokyo that Bob and I went to when we were on tour over there a few years ago. And so it's a question of mixing up your real experience and real people that you've seen with your imagination and your interpretation as well.
And whatever you've been, I mean, some of them must be you, even if they're a disguised you, right? That's got to be true.
It might be the odd.
Look Bob in the eye right now and tell him none of these are actually about me. You can't.
No, of course, but it, as often happens with songs, well, for me, when I write lyrics, I find that the best ones come out in a sort of stream of consciousness sort of way, in the same way that you would when you're dreaming. And sometimes when you're dreaming, it can be you, and then a split second later it can be somebody else and something imaginary or a character you saw in a film, and then the two merge together and become the same thing. When you write lyrics, it's often like that. You have several ideas going on in your head at the same time, and they just kind of come out as a whole, and you're not quite sure where they popped from.
And did you have, or did this come to you after you'd finished the record, the idea of the human fear, which is mentioned in one of the songs, but it's about, I mean, it's not a concept album,
no,
but the songs, the songs are kind of vaguely held together. Now, did you have that? Were you hanging some of the songs on this idea, or did it suddenly make sense once you'd finished it?
Not at all. I've never been able to write to a concept. I don't think I have the attention span to do that. Or I just had I've still got some kind of inbred hatred of prog. Sorry, Dino. Dino's a huge prog fan, so he's disapproving generally. But yeah, I just couldn't do the concept thing. But often when you finish like a record, you'll look for what the themes are. And the last lyric that was written was for this song Hooked, which we're going to do later on as well. And it starts off with this line: "I've got the fear, I've got the human fear." And after seeing that line, I realised that there were a lot of the songs on the record. Well, every song on the record has some kind of fear behind it. And you can sort of say, oh, right, that's talking about a fear of leaving an institution. That song's talking about the fear of ending a relationship when it's over. That song's about the fear of saying goodbye to somebody, And yeah, so that's the theme that was kind of behind it. And when we were talking about it afterwards, it totally made sense. And fear is such a good thing. Oh, not fear itself, but overcoming fear. To do the greatest things, you've got to overcome fear, like doing a live radio session with loads of folk listening.
There are some very good opening lines on the songs on this album, by the way, without spoiling it for people. I mean, what's the opening line of the record? Did you ever get the feeling something was coming undone? Is that
yes, yeah. Although the opening line is actually "Here We Go" with riff 1.
Yes.
So for the beginning of Audacious, what you're hearing it's actually a demo that I recorded on my phone, because I was sending some ideas for riffs to Bob to have a listen to, and so what you hear at the beginning of the record is a demo, and the idea, we thought this was kind of a cool way to start. So it's almost like you're hearing the progress of an idea of a song developing, before you, and then the whole thing explodes and you hear the full band come in.
I won't list all the songs, but I do really like to. Tell me I Should Stay, which has got real theatrical drama about it at the outset. That's really good. And I like Everyday Dreamer as well, because you can read the title so many ways. You could be an everyday dreamer,
yes,
or an everyday dreamer. Yes. It could be an everyday dreamer. Anyway, there's loads of great stuff on the record. As you're about to hear, 2 more tracks. Album's coming out on Friday. 2 more songs. You can run these together without further interruption from me. So what's coming next, did you say?
We're going to do this song Bar Lonely, and after that we'll do a song called Hooked. But Bar Lonely, as I was saying, is the real place in Tokyo.
This is Franz Ferdinand in session on Six Music.